Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I'm your host, Willie Bragg, and I hope everybody's doing well today. I know it's been a little while. It's been a little while since I've been here, and I just had a lot of stuff going on in my life, that I've just prevented me from live streaming, and it'll probably be touch and go this week as well. I will try to live stream as much as I can, but if I can't, I promise you there is a legitimate excuse. Right now, I'm just overworked. I got a lot of things I have to catch up on. Taxes, I have procrastinated on that. I have to go and get my car inspected and get the registration. It's called life. And you do that when you work graveyard shift, you get extra tired. So, enough with my excuses, my pathetic excuses. Uh, how's everybody doing today? I see Miguel. Miguel showed up, and I hope you're doing well. We have here Extra Bula Warren. How are you doing? Great show last night. Always up for the secret show. So it was great. Great. While I'm at work, I'm listening to the secret show. It's the only thing that kept my sanity last night. So I had a rough night at work yesterday evening. So thank you for at least a good show showing of the secret show. So we have Desert Mantis. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. And we also have it's Willie says Chuck Intergalactic UFO Show. So everybody, welcome. So anyway, oh yes, I'm actually not in Scotland, but I am planning to go to Scotland. It looks like it might not be this year. It may be next year. I will be going to Scotland at some point in the future. So I'm looking forward to that. I've actually would not mind when I thought about going to the UK for maybe about a month after I retire, and it could happen. But there's another trip I have in mind right now. It's to go down to between Argentina and Antarctica. I would love to ride on on an ocean liner through the Drake's Passage, because if I would have thought about it, I would have actually played a clip of Drake's Passage and what it's like. Maybe I'll do it again when I bring it up in conversation in the near future. So, but I'll tell you what, just in some ways, just as dangerous as the Drake's Passage, probably more evil. But with a twist of comedy, I will present you this. So hold on here, give me a second and watch what we see here. Let's do this. That's not AI, by the way. I'm sure it's AI. I'm just, but it's not out of his character, And the only thing that was AI might have been pulling enough hair on top to make pigtails out of. So there you have it. Make it go away. Oh, that's so funny. That is so funny. All right. So I want to talk about the two sides of the same coin. All kidding aside and all of that, because it's just amazing it's amazing how people just sit there and you know don't recognize their selective outrage. And look, 10 years ago when there was this big old campaign against Halloween costumes and all of that, you can't dress up as various cultural characters or whatever. It might be perceived as bigoted or what have you, or intolerant or what. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, get over this, people. Get over this. This is the liberals. They're doing this shit. Y'all doing what the religious right did in the 1980s, campaigning against heavy metal music and rap music and all of this, and wanting to stick labels and ban the sales of certain entertainments or that sort of thing. The Parents Music Resource Center, Tipper Gore and company, that kind of situation. Well, and then you had the liberal version of that in the last decade. Not every liberal, obviously, and not every conservative during the Reagan Bush years, but there's enough on each side that carry that element of silliness and everything. So, I'm not really a gamer, but they were talking about women who have a nice bust and a nice ass and all of that. Oh, we can't have this. We got to get rid of that. We can't do this. That's sexist. That's objectifying women. That sort of thing. And you heard some comedians might have said something that was a little bit offensive, whatever. And the right wing, when they took over, they said comedy's legal again. Comedy's legal again. But if comedy is legal again, why do they get so triggered over someone like Bill Burr? They'll get all uptight. And listen, a lot of these folks, they're going around, with the George Carlin and quoting George Carlin or whatever. I hear people from Fox News whenever I watch Fox News, which is hardly ever, but they'll sit there and talk about, oh, comedy's legal again. George Carlin would have been turning over his grave right now. I'm like, it was people like you people from Fox News when y'all were sitting there getting face fucked by Reagan in the 80s and getting face fucked by Nixon in the 70s and all of that. Y'all were against the George Carlins of the world. And all of a sudden, you're going to sit there and claim them as your own? I mean, that's ridiculous, So, it's par for the course, and now you make a joke about somebody on their side, they get offended. And they have become the social justice warriors, They're like, y'all need to get over, you liberals need to get over the fact that somebody's dressed up as a Native American or dressed up as a Japanese geisha girl. You just got to just not get worked up over this and that and the other. But the mermaid comes out, and then it's a black actress playing a mermaid, or Snow White comes out, it's a Hispanic character, the actress playing Snow White. All of a sudden, the sky is falling, and oh my, how dare, or what was it, Dr. Seuss, talking about the changing to make it not so racially insensitive. Oh, that's woke, and the sky is falling. No, the sky's falling when people are dying because they don't have access to healthcare, free access to healthcare. When you don't have living wage jobs available, that's what's harming society. And if you're so fucking goddamn set in a racially insensitive version of Dr. Seuss, you can always buy the original form. It's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. So, people are just crazy, I mean, I'll tell you that the idiocy is right down to the level of Dave Rubin when he's talking about Mr. Potato Head's now just called Potato Head. So what? So what? Don't care. I don't care. I mean, just and so you're going to sit there and label everything woke, 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 and so what's happened is that you have these people on the right wing side and on the I don't want to call them the left because they're not even advocating things um they're not even advocating anything like you know economic justice and that sort of thing. Or, I mean, they're just, to them, it's electing a Democrat. And when you elect a Democrat, everything will be all right. You can go back to brunch. So right now, I'll give you an example here. The right wing are offended. Well, the only thing that's offensive about this photo is there's a snake in the front by the name of Elizabeth Warren. But other than that, there's nothing wrong with this photo here. But the right wing will see the little rainbow color, what have you, the little rainbow signs or whatever, and they go ballistic. They go ballistic, and they don't make up shit. They will make up shit by, well, you can burn the American flag, but you can't. But somebody, you can get away with burning the American flag, but if you go around and you burn the gay flag, the rainbow flag, you're gonna end up 15 years in prison, and that's not how it is. The person that did this, I believe, was in Iowa or Nebraska, and I just thought about this. I think it was in Iowa. Was a liberal church that had a rainbow flag, and it was one of those churches that's like, inclusive and all of that. Probably an Episcopal church. They're probably, or something of that nature, but somebody stole the flag, and then they went and I believe they burned it or whatever, and ended up 15 years in prison. Well, there's a reason why that person ended up 15 years in prison. It's not because the flag was a rainbow flag and all of that. What's happened was somebody had the 3 strikes you're out rule, where you commit several crimes three times, it becomes a felony. You do a lot of time in prison, and that's what it came down to. And it just happened to be the 3rd time was stealing a rainbow flag from a church. If he would have stolen a candy bar from the local grocery store, he would have ended up in prison just the same. But here's the thing: a lot of these right wing people who are getting all butt hurt over somebody being put in prison for burning the rainbow flag. If it was up to them, they would ban the rainbow flag everywhere. They would ban it. They would go and actually they'll actually criminalize the LGBTQ community the way it used to be, and that's God honest truth. So, fuck these people, these right wing assholes that wants to sit there and create a straw man. So, and here's the thing, back in the 2006, there was a movie called Jesus Camp, and I've always said that as far as MAGA is concerned, I don't necessarily think MAGA is Donald Trump per se. To me, the toxic way to look at MAGA, and here's the thing: I don't necessarily think everyone. I disagree with MAGA, all factions of MAGA. I do not have any love for any of that of the politics of MAGA, but they're not all the same per se. It's like when the right wing says, "Oh, all them," they don't think there's no difference between. There's no difference to the right wing. There's no difference between somebody who's a member of the Revolutionary Communist Party USA, a Maoist organization, and Nancy Pelosi. I mean, and there's like a wide range of ideological thoughts between what is considered the radical left or the left. generically or broadly speaking. So you got Nancy Pelosi, which is she's just a watered down, liberal or what have you, all the way to the RCP. And along the ways you have people in between that they're not quite ready to jive with Nancy Pelosi, but they're not ready to jive with the RCP. And the same thing on the right. You have people who are moderate Republicans like Congressman Adam Kinzinger, I believe that's his name, in Illinois. I don't know if he's still a member of Congress or not. And then you have Marjorie Taylor Greene, and so you have a wide range of people in between that has a lot of nuanced thoughts and what have you. And so, yeah, I do think that MAGA has factions. Obviously, the faction that offends me the least are maybe your Ron Paul, Rand Paul types. They may not agree with everything about MAGA, but their main concerns is, some encroachment of government. I disagree with them on economics. These libertarian types, the Thomas Massey types, and everything. I don't want to have it so people think that I've become a libertarian or whatever. I'm just telling you what's okay about them. That they're opposed to wars. They're opposed to police brutality, that sort of thing. And they want to end the drug war, legalize drugs, that sort of thing. Just leave the LGBTQ people alone, keep the country secular. This is what they want. And on that, I agree with them. I disagree with these libertarians when it comes to labor issues and healthcare, that they believe it's a private market, free enterprise system, which I have a problem with, because I don't think the free enterprise system is anything to brag about. But suffice to say, you have libertarians, but I would say about 80 or 90% of the Trump base today were people who were, Fox News loving, Iraq's war supporting, Rush Limbaugh listening ditto heads from 20 years ago. The people who hate Liz Cheney today, they were loving Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney when they were the toasts of Rush Limbaugh. Anyway, here, and you see this photo, and I know it's kind of small, but this is a scene from a movie called Jesus Camp. And they took a cardboard of George W. Bush, and they basically urged the kids to molest the cardboard. I mean, that's basically what it came down to. They wanted to sit there and have these kids bless the cardboard, molest and the cardboard of Bush, praying for him, because that was their culture war leader back then. A lot of people today, they're talking about the culture war behind Trump, and Trump's a piece of shit. But here's the thing. Some of the authoritarianism that you're seeing from Trump right now goes back to Bush and Cheney. They were just polite about it. That was the difference. They were polite about it. But in some ways, they were worse. Because had they not done this, had they not had the surveillance state, had they not explored culture war issues to just because they want to get elected or what have you, at the expense of whole groups of people, we might not be seeing what we're seeing right now with the deportations and the crackdown on free speech and basically intimidating mainstream media, that sort of thing, and the coddling of the oligarchs that are taking place today. The Bill Clintons and the George W. Bushes laid this down, and it honestly goes back to the original Reagan and Bush, and it was happening before then, but the Reagan presidency and his successor George Herbert Walker Bush really got the ball rolling, and Bill Clinton kept that ball rolling, and so did George W. Bush. So I blame 4 people for a lot of the problems that we had today with Trump. And those 4 people were Reagan, George Herbert Walker Bush, Bill Clinton, and George W. Bush. I blame them all. So that's where I stand on that. And so anyway, my point is we can't have nice things in this country because of these motherfuckers. And it's a damn shame. It really is. I don't know. I just like to think that we could do better than what we're doing right now. And the thing is, I don't know. All the hope in me is gone as far as what to do electorally, because 10 years ago, it was Bernie Sanders all the way. And I just got around to being pissed off enough with Bernie Sanders. I mean, I gave AOC, a little bit of time herself till about 2022, late 2022, and by late 2022, I was just like, I can't even be a critical supporter of her anymore because she was such a fucking letdown. She'll sit there and vote against bills. I mean, talk bad about a bill and then vote for it. And that's basically was her brand of what she was doing. But, getting back to Bernie Sanders, I've been very patient with Bernie Sanders, probably more patient than I should have ever been with somebody. And when I mean I'm not going to give him another dime, I really mean that. So, seeing this just offended the shit out of me right here. This offended the hell out of me right here. One of the worst people around that Bernie Sanders embraces. So, you got, basically Tulsi Gabbard and Liz Cheney traded places. Tulsi Gabbard decided that she wanted to suck on Donald Trump's cock, and I guess that she, Liz Cheney, wanted Waltz and Harris to forgive and forget, that sort of thing. And just seeing Bernie doing this, embracing Liz Cheney, that's enough to make me, want to vomit. This is just horrible. I mean, I have never resented Bernie Sanders more than I do right here seeing this picture. I mean, this is the worst thing. This is actually worse. This is worse than endorsing Hillary Clinton. And that's pretty damn bad. He should have gotten behind Jill Stein. But this is far worse. I mean, this is, and I don't understand a lot of progressives, a lot of self-described people on the left, like, oh, yes, Liz Cheney is one of us, just because she was, for the one time in her life, correct on something, January 6th, that it overall sucked. And I have my views on January 6th. Y'all heard it. It's not. I'm not exactly. They don't exactly scare me. I wasn't exactly freaked out by it. I obviously didn't support it, so that's kind of where I stand. And yes, Warren, you're absolutely right. Bernie has fully embraced evil, literally in that picture. I mean, I just don't understand how he could do this, Now, Bernie working with Ron Paul in the U.S. House of Representatives, or Senator Rand Paul, or even Mike Lee, who I don't have any use for, but at least it was, it was for something useful, like putting a stop to arms sales to Saudi Arabia. I mean, to stop that genocide that was going on. The other places there's genocide. There's two places where the genocide was profoundly happening. It's happening currently in Gaza, and it needs to be put to a stop. And I know Bernie's a little bit, I know comes close to home, and he doesn't want to sit there and criticize Israel because he lived in Israel in the 1960s for a few years. I get that. But Bernie, a genocide is a genocide. Genocide is a genocide. You need to stand up, and just go beyond, Netanyahu is a piece of shit, which we all agree he's a piece of shit. But you know what? A lot of people elected that government, back in 2022. I got to grab a cord. Give me a second. Give me a second. When I hear it beeping, I know what that means. So I'm back. Yeah. You don't want this video to shut off. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. But my point is this. Overall, I'm just beside myself with the way this country is run right now. I mean, just no improvement. Had a lot of hope in Bernie, and Bernie, little by little, just endorsing Hillary Clinton. And after she called him a Russian asset, he's going around, Russia this and Russia that, and then in 2020, his good friend Joe Biden. Just roll my eyes on that. Well, I'm going to support Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris basically says, thanks, no thanks. We got Liz Cheney as our campaign surrogate. So, yeah, and now he's on this anti-oligarchy tour. Now, I have a divided mind on that. I didn't used to think he was out there sheep herding, but no, he's sheep herding. I mean, he wants a revived labor movement, which we do need. And that aspect of this anti-oligarchy tour I have no problem with. It's just the sheep herding into America's second conservative party. That they will virtue signal. They will virtue signal and do everything that they can to make you forget about raising wages and forget about healthcare and free college and restoring that middle class dream. Anything but a second New Deal, in other words. And that's where we're at in this situation. I'm kind of rambling today, but these are kind of thoughts are just kind of in my mind right now. And so I wanted to talk about this, and I've been wanting to for the last few days, and this has been my opportunity to do so. So I hope I don't sound like I'm kind of scatterbrained. I'm a little tired right now because I've been up since 7:30. Hold on, 5:30 yesterday afternoon. So I'm about ready to go to sleep. Right now. But I wanted to go and talk and do a little bit of live streaming because I enjoy live streaming and everything. And this is just kind of an informal talk right now. But anyway, I guess as I said, I'll be live streaming some more. Definitely the week after next, and I'll try to do what I can this week and all that. So I'll just sign off right now because as I said, you can't tell, but my eyelids are very, very, very heavy. So if you like what you heard, please press like and comment anyway. If you disagree, we will have a conversation. Feel free to share the contents on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. And what I will also say is this. getting close to 1,000 subs. It's been a while, so if you don't mind, just let somebody know about this channel. Encourage them to subscribe. And until next time, everyone. Well, I will say, free Palestine, free healthcare for all, free Ed Snowden, and fuck Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney. Fuck them to hell. Okay, y'all take care. I will talk to y'all later. See ya.